Welcome back to The Zone, everybody. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzo Goose, co-founder and co-host of the Zone 4 podcast, and I'm here to debut a brand new feature that will, hopefully, be on this channel each and every week. And this is your basic run-of-the-mill top 5 countdown list. But the difference is, what I hope to do beyond this first episode is kind of poll all the Zone 4 co-hosts and come to a consensus of a weekly top 5, and so the whole group will be able to contribute to our choices each and every week, which will make it interesting. And but this first episode, I didn't get a chance to talk to the guys and get it all together, and I wanted to get this out there, kind of commit to doing it each and every week. So this week is just my top 5. And I will also say that in future weeks there probably will be a lot more indie or small press or other publishers outside of the big two involved, represented in the countdown or top 5, whatever. But this week I haven't had a chance to read those other publisher books yet. I had to read the Marvel and DC for other shows and everything to get ready for those. So I had to read those first and didn't have time to read the others to factor those in. So all my picks are from Marvel and DC. Just to put that out there that this is not just going to be a Marvel and DC rundown for everybody. So also, because all of us are going to be involved in the choices and everything, I'm not going to be holding physical copies because I'm not necessarily going to have read every pick on here because it's going to be from the group. And so I'm just going to use graphics. And anyway, I read a lot digitally anyway for various reasons. So I don't always have a physical copy anyway, so it works out. But anyway, top 5 picks from Zone 4 for this week. Starting with 5, working our way up to number 1. Number 5 is a book that honestly surprised me. I did not think I would like this. I didn't really want to like this. I'm not a huge fan of the character. Not really drawn into any other series that this character has been featured in. I tend to kind of, when this character is amongst others, like in a team book or whatever, I tend to kind of scan past her and read the rest of the story. And it is a female character, and you can probably guess which one this is. But number 5 on this list is Black Widow, number 1. And this book is written by Nathan Edmondson, and this was actually a really good book. It was a great introductory issue. At first, I was like really skeptical because I thought they were, kind of going down the path of origin story, and it was going to take place at a different time and all this stuff. But then they turn the rails on you, and it kind of goes into a different direction, and it kind of paints the picture of exactly what Black Widow is all about, and it turns it into less of a superhero gone assassin tale into just an assassin tale, and I really, really dug it. I thought the art it had a very indie feel to it. The writing was clever and witty, and it was it wasn't humorous at all. It was just, I don't know, very intelligent and very spy-like. It had that spy feel to it, and so it was a surprising issue for me, and it was surprising that I actually liked this character, and it drew me in and made me interested, and I want to see the next issue to see what happens with Black Widow. So number 5 on this list is Black Widow, number 1. So moving on to number 4. And this was tough because I had to choose between 2 books to get number 4. But I chose this one for a certain reason, which I'll get to when I talk about number 3. But number 4 on this week's list, is Injustice: Gods Among Us, Year 2, number 1. And this was a very quick read. I actually did a solo review of this book on Dark Avenger Inc. And it was a quick read, but it was a touching tale because we went back in time a few years ago and we saw the relationship between Hal Jordan and Green Arrow and Black Canary and them all having fun. Then we fast forward to Green Arrow's funeral, and we know that Hal, he's on Superman's side. Now, if you're not familiar with Injustice, it's based on the video game. It's an alternate version of the world, of the DC universe rather, and Superman has become like this power-hungry dictator kind of thing because his Lois was killed in the first issue, and all this stuff, and he's a militant leader and everything. And Hal Jordan was on his side, and Superman killed Green Arrow. He caused it an accident, but it's torn everything apart. And so, we get that we get to relive the good times, and then we see the bad times, and there's this confrontation with Superman and Black Canary, and it's just a fabulous issue. It's really well told, but it's a quick read, but you get all these emotional high points throughout the issue, so I really enjoyed this issue, and that's why I made the list at number 4. The book that unseated it, that I was torn between, was another book that I did not want to like, I did not think I would like, and ended up loving. And this is another book I also reviewed on Dark Avenger Inc., which is Avengers World, number 1. This book is written by Jonathan Hickman and Nick Spencer. And I think throwing Nick Spencer in there made the difference, because you take Nick Spencer, who likes mystery and intrigue and building things up like that, and you take Jonathan Hickman, who likes all this super science-y, vast, robust kind of stories that span galaxies and have this deep meaning, and you combine those two things, and it honestly was quite golden to me. You have this whole Avengers team, and they're split up to go off and rescue people and cities from these natural disasters, supposedly natural disasters that keep popping up. They're unnatural natural disasters. So you have like tornadoes and floods and everything happen all at once in all these places, and they have to be dispersed to deal with these various threats, and all through it we have this new villain popping up that is just, he's like, you say this is an Avengers world, well, I'm gonna make you pay for what you did. And it's like this person, whoever he is, who is associated with AIM, is there to take vengeance on the entire Avengers team and the entire world, the entire planet Earth, and he's doing a good job of it. And the Avengers have their hands full, but it's not, even though it does sound epic in scope, because you focus on these little mini teams in various places. You have Shang-Chi and Wolverine and others in Madripoor dealing, with the hand, and with, this, well, I don't want to give that away, but this revelation that could be a very big threat for them. You have Hawkeye and Spider-Woman dealing with this other thing. You have Cap and Hulk, or Cap and Banner on the Shield helicarrier trying to figure things out. I mean, there's a lot going on, but it's very neatly tied together. It adds a little bit of an element of mystery to it, and there's action, and the dialogue was actually really good. It wasn't trying to be too verbose or too high-minded. It wasn't. I don't want to be insulting here, because this was a very good book, but I think Nick Spencer managed to kind of mete out the I don't know the right word to say. I think he, teaming up with Hickman, created a good balance, dialogue and story-wise. I'll leave it at that. So that's your number 3. So we only have 2 left. Number 2, Cataclysm Ultimate Spider-Man number 3 of 3. And this book was phenomenal. I love this book, and everything that you love about Peter Parker as Spider-Man, I think was exhibited in Miles Morales in a slightly different way, obviously, but in Miles Morales, in this particular issue, he was trying to save his dad, and his dad discovers that he's Spider-Man, and blames him for his mother's death and all this stuff, and it's all this emotion going on. But at the same time, Spider-Man is just trying to save him and trying to save people and trying to save the world, and he can't think about this, and he doesn't take it personally. He just stands there. He's still a kid, but he stands there like a man and just says, when you cool off, you can apologize to me for that later, but right now I need to save your life. And it was just this touching, monumental moment in Miles Morales' life, but he had to put all that aside, bury that, to go and save people. The crash in this plane and everything, and just jump into action as the world around them is being destroyed. And it was a phenomenal issue, and it was actually one of my contenders for pick of the week over on Dark Avenger Inc. But it in 2 other books. But yeah, it came in just under. But it was a phenomenal book. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking out at least that particular miniseries. That was the 3rd and final issue. I'm sure it'll be collected in trade. That is my number 2 pick. So, number 1 pick is Detective Comics number 27. And I know it's kind of on the nose. I had the honor of doing pick of the week on Dark Avenger Inc. this week, and I did it over there as well. So obviously it's going to be my number 1 pick here. For Batman fans, this is a phenomenal issue that you must have. I don't care if you're a fan of the New 52, if you're a fan of pre-crisis, in any era of Batman, if you're a fan of the character, you have to have this book. There's 7 stories in this book. It's a mega-sized book. It's an $8 book. But it's a 75th anniversary issue because this is 2014 is the 75th anniversary of Batman, so they did it up big. There are 7 stories, and only one story ties into anything going on in the New 52, which is the kickoff story for Gothopia. Everything else is a standalone story. Some of them are tributes, some of them are different takes, but all of them are fantastic. You have talents like Brad Meltzer, Brian Hitch, Neil Adams. You have Scott Snyder and Sean Murphy. You have Francesco Francavilla. I mean, you have all these heavyweights doing these tribute stories to one of the greatest iconic characters in all of comicdom. And especially the Neil Adams drawn story is, to me, it was the best story in the book because it chronicled Batman through the ages in a really clever, fun, and adventurous way that you didn't quite get what was coming, but it was really fun, and it spoke to fans as much as it spoke to their love and the creator's love and passion for the character. And you had this rehashing of the original Case of the Chemical Syndicate story. You had this story by the creative team from The Wake, Scott Snyder and Sean Murphy. You had all this cool stuff going on in this issue, and I can't recommend it enough. I say if you have never picked up a New 52 book, if you've picked one up and hated it, if you don't want to have anything to do with anything New 52, I still encourage you to pick this book up, especially if you're a Batman fan, because this is one phenomenal issue. So there you have it. That's the number 1 pick, and those are your top 5 picks here on Zone 4 for this week. Hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to see this each and every week, and if you'd like to see that consensus that I talked to between, all the different Zone 4 hosts, please leave a comment below and let us know, and hopefully we'll continue to do this. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.